There's a good view of what faces him. Oh, that's a beautiful kick. That's about as close as down the middle you'll get in a long, long time. Valleys lead 2-0. The scrum to pack down.
Must have seen the knock-on from the dummy half there, because he's packing the scrum well inside from where Dowden took the tackle.
So Muir coming up with the football, back to Sinclair, and Muir tries to get through Coyne and Catton. Now Staines. Inside the 22 of the Diehards, over to Muir, now to Quinn. Dowden's going to drop it, but it might end up all right in the end. No, it won't. It'll end up with David Burke.
Quinn threw that pass too hard.
East aren't controlling the football, and now Knight. For Daunt, Strasser. Had quite a game by his standards last week. Williams. Back to Boys. Now to Daunt. And that's great cover. Smith the tackler. Now to Catton. And David Manson's going to rule that ball knocked forward. Had a chance to continue it on there.
Catton here tackled when he doesn't have the ball, but Smith had gone far enough. He couldn't come out of that tackle. Manson allowed the play to go on. Penalty to Valleys from the scrum.
David Manson telling Nicky Muir how to put the ball in. I thought things like that would be long gone. I thought A-grade footballers would know how to put the ball in the scrum, wouldn't they? Or maybe they just do but don't want to confine to the rules at times.
I don't think a halfback's a halfback if he always lives by the rule book.
That's O'Neill almost through. He plays Shane Buckley. And now the Diehards are only about 18 metres out. Catton. Valleys lead 2-0. Now with Holmes through Daunt and Coyne. The kick's on for Pitt, but it goes into the hands of McDonald, and he's into space. Now Cook. Williams stops him. Over the top comes Murray Fechner. So he's turning defence into attack. Now Muir, Eckert. Often runs wide like a second rower. Has an unusual role for a hooker, Dave Eckert. Valleys outside backs well up.
Cook getting some attention in the back. Having been hitting that tackle up around the rib cage, he's still feeling it.
And from the tap, goes to Mew, and Staines standing out wide. Pass back to Payne. Now Crosby. Oh, he's found a nice gap. And how's the support? Over the top to McDonald. Back to Cook. 8 metres out from the line. Payne. Muir coming back inside. Holmes has hold of him. Also in there was Boys. Now to Sinclair. Over to Staines. Back to Sinclair. McDonald. Quinn. They keep it alive with Sinclair. Valleys defence holds. McDonald from dummy half. Cook. He's in. Easy as you like. Mark McDonald linking up with Trevor Cook, and the Valleys defence can't hold. East now lead by 4 points to 2.
Well, it was a straight across field run by McDonald. Simple basics, and you watch Cook come straight. He's got inside that one defender, Hegarty at fullback. Nobody's taken McDonald. They've let him run across field. You'll see here, Fetner just lets him go, waits for somebody, but it's all too late because Cook's got inside Hegarty, and you're too close to the line there. Somebody had to take McDonald at that point, and they didn't. The try was made there.
Ran into a nice hole. And over for 4 points.
He's having quite an effect on the game, Mark McDonald, but he's out of trouble up on their own line and then eventually sets up the try.
Yes, I thought it was a curious kick from Peter Coyne way back in the East 22 so early in the tackle count. It certainly wasn't as well executed as he would have liked, but that got East, I think, out a bit of strife. It'll be interesting today. Quinn will have a lot of asked of him in the forward play. Whether his goal kicking's up to scratch, we'll see as the game progresses. That's a fine-looking one.
You're a good judge. It's
that's all right. Wasn't a piece of cake, of course.
East lead by 4 points to 2.
Tonight, 6:30 on Our World, a unique programme about Australia and its magical past, hosted by Joe Pearson.
The dreaming of this country's original inhabitants begins to make sense.
Arnhem Land, and the story of Dorothy Bennett.
Crocodiles might eat you as you're going through and nobody will know.
She'll travel thousands of miles.
I think that's worth $1,000.
Yes.
A special person with a special quest to find and preserve the keepers of the dreaming. Our World, tonight, 6:30 on 9.
Class treatment every time.
Here's Burke. 10 metres outside the quarter. Williams. Now through Dawn. Coyne. Pitt. Into the hole. Here's trouble. Hegarty's dropped it. I don't know whether the pass was all that great. And I got an inkling Hegarty might have been picked up from behind by the same token, so I wouldn't say that was a try bomb.
Near enough, though, and that's good straight running from Pitt. Gets outside Crosby, or through the tackle of Crosby. Draws the man nicely, should have been taken. And well, West may have got Hegarty. I suppose it doesn't really matter because Hegarty couldn't hold it.
There's the pass, I think was fair enough looking at the replay. Oh, here's trouble now. West doing all the good work. Now the bad. Now here's Boys. One has a feeling at how long East can actually hold Valleys out. Whoops. Almost a Shepherd. Now goes to Daunt and over to Knight. Now Daunt again. Out to Pitt. So East defence too good. In fact, Valleys haven't made any meterage at all in the last couple of tackles. Back to Daunt. Now Strass has found a hole and McDonald went for the intercept. That's no good because Valleys will come up with a scrum feed on the 22. But had he taken it?
And he was a bee's whisker away from it too. You could see him looking at it here. Now there's his chance and just misses, and there was no way to be caught had he got it.
And had he missed, try. Now Daunt for Coyne. Hegarty. On the quarter. Williams. He's a real workhorse, Lindsay Williams. Boys.
Better from Valleys, a bit more pattern.
Now Daunt reverses on his own. Now finds Pitt.
And who stops him? Sinclair.
Peter Sinclair, great cover. Now East are in trouble now. Coyne. Oh, they mucked that up, Valleys, but it's play on with Strasser. And on the final tackle, they're still only a metre out. Quick hands through Daunt. Long pass. Hegarty can't pick it up. Oh, and Valleys today looking from the grandstand, looking absolutely dreadful.
Yes, well, they should have scored there. I don't think there's any doubt. They had about 18 tackles on the go. They had opportunities galore, and they just weren't able to do it. There didn't seem to be much communication, and as Rod Taylor was saying before, not a lot of pattern. Good work, East defence, though. You've got to give them a lot of credit. They've struggled hard. They've made a few mistakes in attack too, but, gee, they haven't had much ball lately because they've been coughing it up, but their defence really fine.
And they're coughing it up again. So that'll be Valleys' feed again.
And Martin Quinn hangs his head. He says, oh, gee, I've done a bit of tackling. I don't want to do any more, Bruce, but looks as if I'm going to have to. Valleys feed to the scrum. And a penalty.
So a quick tap over to Catton. Well, it's no good the quick tap because the only person knew about it was Brett Daunt and Tony Catton.
And the Valleys forwards walked even after they did see the tap taken.
Strasser for O'Neill. Now Daunt, long pass to Coyne. Up come the East defence. That was lucky to be picked up by Fecht. In fact, it was well picked up. Now back to Pitt. Now, boys, Holmes, O'Neill, shocking pass, knock on. 3 minutes to half-time. Eastern Suburbs lead 4-2. Oh, there's Holmes. Oh, he needs some support. Takes the tackle only 10 metres out from the line. Oh, if they spin it left, Valleys, though, I reckon they must score. They've got men to burn. Dawn hung on to it. Now it's gone back to Feckner. 5 metres out. Over to Coyne. Still 3 metres out from the line. Feckner away to Daunt. Now it's over to Hegarty. That's a forward pass. Yes, Steve? The whistle's gone, son. No points.
Well, Billy Holmes set it all up, but failed in support. No one there when a try was on, and then when the try was opened up, the pass went forward.
That's going to be one against the feed. And here's trouble. Coyne over to Pitt. Back to Coyne. Trying to set up. Here's trouble. O'Neill should score. He's in. They end up with the numbers. They won the scrum against the feed. That paved the way, so Billy Holmes has split them up the middle, provided the attack, won the scrum, O'Neill in to score, and right on half-time, Valleys lead 6-4.
And a difficult situation for Rod West here, but he did neither one thing nor the other. You'll find Peter Coyne delays the pass. West didn't know whether to come in or stay on his man, and he sort of was caught in no man's land. Here you find Coyne delaying the pass. There it goes to Fettner. West. Now, will I take Fettner or I stick on O'Neill? I do neither. Gives O'Neill a clean run to the try line. May see it better from front on, as I thought the mistake was made there by Darryl Pitt as he went inside, but was able to get it out again. There's the delayed pass. There's West, not having committed himself to neither centre nor winger, allowing the gap. So we've really tried to hit Feckner simultaneously as he got the pass or stayed with his winger, one of the two.
To do a Mark McDonald, what he tried to do earlier. Did something.
Yeah.
Went for the intercept on that occasion and missed Mark McDonald. But anyway, Valleys have finally got over the try line. Right on half-time, they lead 6-4 with the kick to come.
That was the hooter, by the way. Pretty sick old hooter after the rain.
There's West looking a bit disappointed. He makes very few mistakes, Rod West. I like him. I think he's a solid player. He's nothing brilliant, but that was definitely a mistake, and I reckon he knows it.
That's no goal. Well away, and at the break, it's Valleys 6, East 4.
Sunday night, the captivating story of love and life. Terms of endearment.
Oh, I'm officially pregnant.
In their Oscar-winning roles, Shirley MacLaine.
Why should I be happy about being a grandmother?
And Jack Nicholson.
Wind in the hair! I'm not enjoying this!
With Deborah Winger and Danny DeVito in a very special movie experience.
I'd like to get to bed early.
Terms of endearment.
Grandma!
Tonight, 8:30 on 9.
Is your savings account or personal check account bugged by irritating fees or charges? Like account keeping fees, transaction fees, bank account debits tax, or stamp duty on personal checks? Bank of Queensland's interest-earning Ultimate account has absolutely no fees or government charges if you maintain a minimum monthly balance of $1,000. You also qualify for each monthly draw to win one of 3 $50,000 interest-free or low-interest home loans, saving you up to $148,000 in repayments. Ultimate account from Bank of Queensland, the top dog account.
We've got 'em for skimmers, we've got 'em for slimmers, for healers and wheelers, and all kinds of swimmers. We've got 'em for country, we've got 'em for town, for girls in bikinis or couturier gowns. We've got 'em for coppers, we've got 'em for boppers, for lawyers, musicians, and special gift shoppers. We've got elegant creations and fashion innovations. For any situation. Citizen, we've got your watch.
After 3 decades of hit records and thrilling audiences, the First Lady of Motown is back in concert. and still supreme. The Paul Dainty Corporation announces the return of Diana Ross, and she's working overtime. Diana Ross, the concert in the round at the Entertainment Centre, October 23. Tickets on sale now.
And the second half underway in the Woolies Trophy final. The title holders, Valleys with the football against Eastern Suburbs, the Winfield State League title holders. And Valleys lead at the break by 6 points to 4. Let's go to the sideline to see what the coaches had to say at the break. And here's Rod.
OK, Desi Morris was saying what bad luck it was that they lost that scrum against the head, because he had spent a lot of time working on that. He asked them to time their runs into the forward line. He wants Purcell to hit harder in defence, and he asks Sinclair to kick towards Valley's try line when he gets the opportunity. He said that Sinclair's been kicking to the quarter and not getting them back deep enough. Henrik wants them to convert pressure into points, concentrate on their ball control and pick up their marker defence on Crosby and Muir and get that cover defence organised.
What did he say about their positional play, Rod?
Well, he wasn't really talking too much about it. What he was saying was that they were inside the half all the time, but they weren't converting the pressure into points, and he was saying that the forwards just weren't organised, so he wants them to get organised. And I think what he was trying to tell them was if they just play to their positions and organise their cover defence, then they can time their runs a lot better.
Sinclair trying to give it to Purcell, and Valley's coming up with Pitt. Fechner.
Nothing surprising about what the coach has said at half-time. I wouldn't have thought, fairly predictable. It's I think what we've all seen in that first 40 minutes, and I'm sure both Des Morris and Rossi Henrik will be hoping they listen to the instructions. Des wouldn't have been delighted by the fact that so early in the game, East again coughed up possession.
Referee Manson was happy with the way the game is going. He said that if he can get the next 40 minutes out of these two teams, what he did in the first, he'll be quite happy.
So Smith tried to get the one-handed pass inside. Touched by Valleys. 6 tackles to go. Quinn over to Sinclair now. Eckert, Purcell. Well, he got 2 forwards out in the centres, and that was the result.
Purcell's touched the ball twice in the second half. Dropped it both times. Fairly simple passes. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him for the full 80 minutes today. Purcell, he's had a lot of trouble with his hands.
So big chance here for Hegarty to kick 2 more points. Certainly within kicking range for him, and he's probably just a shade to the side of the left upright. Because both these teams on 16 points in the competition. And they're 1 game clear of Ipswich and Norths, who are on 14, and a break to West, who are on 10. That's, of course, prior to today's games.
Purcell made a couple of hits early in this half, didn't he? Which was what Des Morris had asked him to do. Now I see the trainer's just gone out to give him a message.
Probably tell him to hit and hold the football as well.
Yeah.
Not much good being hitting and then dropping the ball, I suppose. Now Hegarty. Looks pretty good. Over. So that's a morale-boosting kick from Steve Hegarty. Valleys now lead 8 points to 4.
Tonight in National 9 News, the countdown to the Fitzgerald Report. As final preparations are made, a renewed promise from Premier Mike Ahern to implement its recommendations and a guarantee not to call an early election. Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev warns against continuing ethnic unrest, disappointment for the Bullets, a 1-point loss to the Saints, and after day 6 at Wimbledon, just 3 Aussies left to show the flag.
National 9 News, tonight at 6.
We've got it.
Flag hotels, motor inns, resorts and executive apartments. For bookings 24 hours a day, call Super Sally.
So the plan for East, I think, would be take just 6 rucks up the middle, forget the pass and put the boot into it. They spent, I'd say, pretty close, Andrew, 75% of the first half defending their own quarter.
Yeah, at least that.
Oh, that's stuff from Quinn.
He hasn't stopped. He gets better and better, Quinn. I'm very impressed with him. But no, I think now the time to get the kick down, get it into Valleys quarter if East want to attack and maybe prey on the Valleys mistakes.
Purcell, Quinn got a hit in the mouth, I think.
I think he copped one from Catton as he went in for the tackle.
So now they've held it for 3 East and they're 10 metres inside Valley territory. Now to Muir, over to Sinclair, to Dowden, and he'll have to take the tackle. Sinclair. Now how will that be? That'll be too far. So maybe these players underestimating their kicking strength this afternoon.
Valleys have shown in their record to be pretty well a second half side. They always seem to save their best for the second half, which is, I guess, better than the other way around. And they have lifted their work rate in this second 40 minutes, or the 15 minutes we've seen so far.
Strasser. Now back to Knight. Coyne. Tackle by Quinn. Crosby, rather. Now Daunt kicking to the centre of the ground. And the runners are coming. And they're coming. And McDonald took it. Just as well he did.
There's good pressure from Tony Catton. He's worked hard in defence today, Catton.
Awkward bounce, that ball was all over. Oh, Valleys making East lose the football. It come back into East players' hands, so it's play on, and then Valleys wanted to hold the player down. So they'll get out of their own territory, out of their own quarter now, eastern suburbs. And this is what happened. Loses the ball, but went backwards.
Yes, Catton, the one being penalised by referee Manson.
Staines. Purcell. Got him for a high one. Didn't look all that bad from here. Although I'm not the one lying on the ground.
Yes, I think Rob Knight, the man, there it is, around the neck. Purcell down. Of course, we've mentioned a fair bit about East dropping the ball. Some of these Valleys hits have been a touch terrifying of late. They're starting to take it up to the Tigers forwards.
18 minutes gone, second half. The Woolies Trophy final. Valleys lead 8-4. East with possession inside the die-hard quarter.
Purcell back on his feet.
Eckert. Muir over to Crosby. Slips and keeps going. And he might go all the way. He can't get it down, has he? He has. No, held up. Well,
I felt he had got it down at one stage there.
It took him a while, but he definitely got it down, but the referee's ruled he's taken too long.
There he is as Burt comes in there. Hasn't got it down there. No, probably before the line. He did get it down, but I think maybe before the try line. Good decision from Manson. And
Valley's making a dreadful error.
Valley's in trouble, but of course Ross Henrik, remembering back to Rod Tiley just after half-time, Ross Henrik had said they must be careful of Bruce Crosby. Who was it who nearly scored that try? And certainly didn't seem to be getting the attention Henrik wanted him to be getting. Bruce Crosby. East have another chance.
So Muir tries to burrow his way through. Sinclair. Oh, how close is he to that line? Payne. Crosby. Smith's wrapped up. It's good work from Fechner. Well read. Now to Muir. McDonald trying to link. Dowden wrapped up by the cover. Short side with Staines. He's lost it.
Again, he loses the ball.
Williams. Knight. He's on the 22. Valleys lead 8-4. In the Woolies Trophy final, trying to defend their title. Richard Boys. 5 outside the quarter. On the final tackle. Over to Coyne. Oh, not a good pass, but Coyne pick it up on the half volley. Steps inside Sinclair. And that splits McDonald and Payne. Payne picks it up. And a wall of blue jerseys wait for him, including Catton and Fechner. Trevor Cook. One can't help thinking as the penalty goes to East, and away goes Crosby.
Well, that should really be another penalty, although I gather Manson's playing the advantage, but Strasser tackling within the 10. I think East would have rather the other penalty get down into East 22, Valley 22.
So Cook's inside the quarter. So Eastern Suburbs putting on the pressure. They trail 8-4. Now Eckert, 10 metres out from the line. Over it goes to Sinclair. Muir. And he's 12 metres out. Now Sinclair giving it to Quinn. Back to Sinclair. Can they straighten up the action? Can Purcell find a hole? But McDonald has, and he's in. Right beside the post. Mark McDonald in to score. 8-all with the kick to come, and this should see Eastern Suburbs hit the front.
Well, Mark McDonald smelt that try, and well done by Rob Purcell. As we see Martin Quinn again in the action. Gets it back to Sinclair. Sinclair to Muir. Purcell hits it straight, and there is when McDonald said, here's a hole. He doubles around, spurts the pace, and is too quick for both Daunt and Murray Fetner. A good play from a lot of these players there. Quinn and Sinclair have been two of their better players. Purcell hasn't been great in attack, been good in defence, but he was good in attack there, sent it through to McDonald. McDonald scores a lot of tries for East.
Leading try scorer last season, Mark McDonald.
I think he'll probably be the same again this year. In fact, 11 tries Mark McDonald scored to lead the premiership with numbers of tries. Been with East a long time, Mark McDonald. This Australian schoolboy, as we see there. He was a youngster. And a fine player and has had a good game today.
He's 3 tries clear of Lance Belford from Winner Manly.
He sent the ball boy back for some more sand, the little fellow back here. He sent the ball boy back for some more sand. The little bloke back here picked up a handful in this tiny little hand that would hold nothing. And Martin Quinn's gone, what's the point? I asked for some sand, I get 3 grains.
Hegarty laying down the law.
David Burke doing a bit of talking too. Whenever David Burke's been involved today, he's looked dangerous, but probably only 4 or 5 times. They want to try and move it to him more, I think, Valleys.
A couple of deep breaths. No mistake. Eastern Suburbs hit the lead in the Woolies Trophy final. They lead by 10 points to 8. So with 16 minutes of football left, Andrew Slack, we should be in for a pretty exciting time.
Yes, well, let's just hope that the ball control improves, because there's a bit of attack there when that happens. We haven't seen a lot of teams, either team taking it the full 6. When they do, it usually means a little bit of action. So we'll see if that can be produced in the final 16 minutes.
Dowden trying to run it out of his quarter. Stands and plays it to Crosby for Smith. Wrapped up by Fechner. Staines. Muir will have to just take the settler. Valleys defence up pretty quickly in that play the ball. Back to Quinn. Burke. Plenty of East cover, and he's gone straight through them. David Burke. Great run. 10 metres now inside Valley territory, and they're going to spin it on the second tackle. Here's Pitt. Eastern Suburbs leading by 10 points to 8. So Williams plays it to Holmes and Coyne, short pass to Daunt at the quarter. Now Coyne, long pass to Catton, inside to Strasser. 10 metres out from the line on the final tackle.
Will we see a bomb this time round?
I think this might go up. No, they run it. Daunt, it's touched by McDonald. That'll be 6 to go. Fettner's only 3 metres out from the line. Now with Burke, over to Daunt. Haggerty, he'll have to straighten it up.
Wasn't a single Valleys attacker out wide.
There still isn't. Now boys, a metre out from the line. Still the Valleys back line hasn't assembled. They have now. Here's Knight. Oh, great East defence. Now, I'd say it's been spun through Daunt now. Holmes cuts him out into Coyne. Back to Holmes. And East defence magnificent. Coyne. Oh, there's Pitt on the fly, and he's in. Oh, Darryl Pitt flying onto a Peter Coyne pass. Into score, and the Diehards hit the front 12 to 10, and they did it on the final tackle.
And a replay of East's first try, just changed the jerseys and the names. That was Mark McDonald for East, it's Peter Coyne for Valleys. That was Trevor Cook for East, it's Darryl Pitt for Valleys. Exactly the same sort of try with the dummy half running across field. Peter Coyne doing it beautifully, the runner hitting it straight. Darryl Pitt doing it well. Valleys hit the lead.
Well, they messed around with it for 5 tackles, the Diehards, before they got it right as Pitt goes over. And it took them about 3 tackles for the back line to be assembled. And in the end, they really didn't get it right because Bill Holmes had to cut out Coyne with the first pass, and Coyne had to run himself on the second. But anyway, they've got over the line, and that's a good example to the young players at home, particularly centres and second rowers who run wide, how to hit the line. Pitt was flying full bore, and it was that speed and his momentum which allowed him to get over the line, and he just made it in the end.
We might need a replacement for East shortly. Darren Smith getting some attention to the right eye, injured as he made the tackle on Pitt.
It's over. Valleys lead by 14 to 10, and there's 12 minutes to go on the match.
If you like Police Academy, you'll love what they're doing on the other side of the law.
No! This is very well done.
Now, this is how you run a prison.
There are 2 ways of doing things in this prison. My way and my way.
A hilarious television premiere that'll keep you in stitches all night long. Life behind bars will never be the same when you're doing time Monday, 8:30 on 9.
Huge, enormous, no, gigantic sellout at Lowe's Menswear. Heaps of jackets, baseball jackets, super warm, super value, just $79.99. All new Britannia jeans worth $49.99, slashed to $29.99. Fashion knitwear, not $39.99, $29.99. Fitwear pullovers, half price at $29.99. Top brand shirts, not $39.99, $25. Clearwater shirts, slashed to $19.99. All this and plenty more in the gigantic sellout at Lowe's Menswear.
Trevor Hendy, World Ironman Champion, is one of Australia's fittest young men. So why does he grab hold of MBF health cover?
No matter how fit you are, you can't guarantee your future health. But with MBF cover, you can guarantee you'll get the best treatment for eyes, teeth, muscles in hospital. MBF cover, worth grabbing a hold of now.
And that's what
MBF, first-class treatment every time.
Right now, you can own a Davis Cup-size Supergrass tennis court for just $19,980. The price includes the base, the magnificent Supergrass playing surface, all permanent line markings, the surround fencing, net posts and tennis net. All just $19,980 for the brand new Davis Cup-size court ready to play. This soft Supergrass surface plays like lawn and is easy on the back, legs and knees. Talk to John Noble for your new Supergrass tennis court.
Nissan quiz number 3. Who's got great deals on new Pulsar Kiro?
West Point Nissan, just $12,999.
What a hoot!
West Point Nissan on model at Indooroopilly.
8 minutes to go. Valleys lead 14-10. Cook around, boys. In from the wing came Burke. Read the play well. Now it's through Sinclair. Crosby for Muir. Quinn, can he break the line and send someone away? Whoa, that'll be the ball game. They won't catch him. And underneath the post goes Tony O'Neill. And that's the Woolies Trophy final to Valleys. They now lead by 18 points to 10.
Yes, well, a disappointing end for Tigers because Quinn has worked well. Didn't need to throw this pass. Obviously, the percentages weren't with him. Didn't execute it as he would have hoped. I think it's an understatement. Tony O'Neill on the spot. Gee, we've seen a lot of intercepts today, but that's the only one that anything's come of. And it's meant the Woolies Trophy to the Diehards for the second year in a row. And I guess well-deserved. They've played pretty well in the second half. Their defence has been good, as we see O'Neill. Nobody was ever going to go close to him. See Gavin Payne in the background giving up, and Mark McDonald.
Well, he must be pretty quick, O'Neill, because McDonald didn't bother much to chase him, and McDonald's pretty swift of foot.
He's got a nice head start. Probably not a fair indication, 10 points. Valleys have done enough, and as I say, they've picked up their effort and their commitment in the second half. I don't think there's any risk about that.
A couple of replacements getting ready for Valleys. Brett Randall will come on for Rob Knight. Fitzgerald will come on for Lindsay Williams. So the 14 and 19 will be on for Valleys.
Well, I don't think they'll lose anything there. Brett Randall was our player of the match.
Yeah, had an outstanding game, the young fellow, last week. Of course, O'Neill got his chance in A grade last week for the first time. Scored a try. Scored a try today. There's the extras. Valleys lead 20 to 10. And there's 6 minutes remaining. Because O'Neill was a late replacement today for Shane Buckley, so he's had a... Because Buckley was a member of the Queensland under-21 team for last Wednesday as well, so O'Neill's had a couple of chances in A grade, and Andrew, like all players of the future, he's grabbed it.
Chris Hastings on for Dowden in Easts.
Chris Hastings was another one of the under-21, so... We're only remarking the other night, some of the football that these fellows played the other night, fellows like Smith, Hastings, Catton, Sam Smith from Ipswich, just to name a few. And Andrew, the depth of Queensland football, even at this club level, is very, very strong.
Yeah, there's no problems with it at all. And you consider that a lot of young Queensland footballers weren't available for that match, as we see a knock-on from Peter Coyne. Broncos Colts, of course, not being eligible. I think Queensland's superiority in rugby league is in secure hands. Daunt tries the replay, also tries to put an act on David Manson. Manson awake to it, Eastport into the scrum, but they've got no chance really with 5 minutes left.
So Randall's in for Strasser. They've made a change. They were talking about taking Williams off, but Strasser's the man that gets replaced by Randall.
We talk about Valleys not having had a great year and not playing as well as they might. This win will give them sole leadership on the premiership, so that says something about a side. If you're not playing with all guns blazing and you're still leading the premiership, you've got to be pretty good. And Valleys, of course, are, but I think we just at times expect more of them.
There's two fellows on screen, Fitzgerald and Randall, the two replacements. Might hear oh, there was almost another one from David Burke. Payne goes into touch. That fellow, Brett Randall, number 14, the big blondie-headed fellow. Well, he's not all that big. I'll tell you what, he can play. You'll be hearing a bit of him over the years to come.
Paul Lusk on in 21 for Easts. Crosby, the man replaced.
Now Coyne. To Pitt. That's Hastings tackling. It's gone back to Coyne, and that's got to be floated a mile forward. And going in a touch. There's Tony O'Neill. You're pretty happy with a couple of weeks' efforts, and I'm sure Ross Henry could be happy to know that if he happens to Shane Buckley anymore, O'Neill's still sitting there. Now Cook putting the kick in. Burke will be there first, and it may go dead in goal. It does. So in the last, 3 minutes, what about a bit of a summary, Andrew? Firstly, what about the winners, Valleys?
Well,
Are they improving or not, each of what we've seen the last couple of weeks?
Well, put it this way, I think they've still got improvement to go as far as coordination and attack's concerned, and full-on 80-minute commitment and turning that pressure into points. Ross Henry saying at half-time that they'd put plenty of pressure on and they just didn't have anything on the scoreboard. Other days, that's going to be dangerous. And they need really to convert earlier than they have been in recent matches. But they're in that position. They work themselves into the opposition quarter. All they've got to do is finish a little bit better. But a pretty solid performance from their pack, I thought, as East get a penalty, which the Valley crowd's not too happy about. Pretty solid performance. I thought Catton went well in the forwards and their front row, particularly Williams and Rob Knight. Rob Knight missed a couple of tackles early when he was beaten for pace. People got on his outside, but he's worked very hard, both taking the ball up and doing some of the unseen work, I guess. Strassers and Boys also tackled okay in the forwards. Daunt and Coyne maybe not as effective as we've got used to seeing them, but still they've done enough. I thought Darryl Pitt played very well out wide, and David Burke on limited opportunities. East's solid again. Peter Sinclair, I thought the standout performer. He really did play well, particularly in that first half as we see him take the ball up. His defence was really outstanding, and Valleys would have scored no risk in that first half a couple of times if it wasn't for Peter Sinclair. There we see the first bomb of the day. How's it going to go? Hegarty takes it, safe as a house, and good following up from Nick Muir, who put the kick in. Touch Tony McGrath coming in for something, Mr. T.
I haven't noticed that incident. I was watching something that was going on in back play between Boys and Gavin Payne. Payne was tripped by Boys, so what happened up here I can't really help you with.
McIntosh on for Pitt too.
That may be what he's talking about, actually.
Plays in stages.
Another penalty for East, and just as I finish on them, the thing that's lost in the game, no doubt, is their inability to hold the ball for 6. They've dropped it non-stop all day. That's why they're 10 points behind on the scoreboard. Des Morris, I think, will be disappointed about that, but it's just one of those days. They'll come back, and they're only 2 points from Valley. So, all in all, could have been a better match had the handling been better from both sides. It was worse for East. They came second.
Quinn struggling towards the line. He's got it down. So Martin Quinn into the dying seconds of the match for Eastern Suburbs, and that makes the scoreline read Valleys 20, East 14, and that was Quinn running hard and strong off a short pass on the blind side.
Yes, and there's Quinn, as couldn't say any more than Alan did. He picked it perfectly, and we see East at this stage as Quinn goes through, running back to halfway, because they've got about 20 seconds on the 2016, and will they beat the clock? That's the last question. They haven't.
They don't. That's it, full time. And Valleys defend their Woolies Trophy. For 1989, they defeat Eastern Suburbs by 20 points to 16.
There'll be an inquiry. We'll just have a look at it.
I'm asking someone to charge me with something.
For the second time in 2 days, Commissioner Fitzgerald told Sir Joe just who was running the inquiry.
This Monday, Commissioner Fitzgerald's report on corruption in Queensland will finally be delivered. 9 News will bring you live coverage as the report is handed down from 2 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, our team will present a detailed summary of the report's implications. Then at 6:30, a current affair will be in Brisbane speaking to the key personnel. Channel 9, the voice of local news and current affairs.
Queensland Railways travel trains between Brisbane and Rockhampton have undergone a dramatic change of face. They've become electric. So now with fast new services like the Daylight airline-style Spirit of Capricorn, it's no wonder Travel Train is your ticket to Queensland adventures. Take it easy, take the train.
There it is, the Woolies Trophy final over for 1989 and the Diehards successful. Let's have a look at a breakdown of the full-time statistics. Eastern Suburbs had all the possessions, the scrums and penalties in their favour. The tries, 3 apiece, nothing in that. The goals were the difference, 4-2 to Valleys, and of course they had the scoreline in their favour at full-time, 20 points to 16. And of course that meant that they were the Woolies Trophy final winners. Of course, they won it last year. That's one of the trophies they're out to retain. The next one they want to retain is the Winfield Cup, and there they are, the successful Valleys Diehards, and a fantastic win to them. OK, our man of the match is Bill Holmes. Let's go to Rod Tiley on the sideline.
With the man of the match, Valleys hooker and Bill Holmes. You came away with the points, Bill. Tough game out there, and could have gone either way for a while.
Yeah, my word, it could have, Rod. They play a good brand of football, at least. They're a well-drilled side, in my opinion.
At half-time, Rossi Henrik was saying you've got to convert the pressure into points. That was what you were able to do.
Yeah, my word. In first half, we managed to get into their territory and we just couldn't put points on the board. We'd get ourselves in a good position and we dropped the ball. It's about our downfall, I think.
All right, well done.
Okay, thanks, Rod. I'd like to thank Winfield for the award and Channel 9 for the coverage. Thanks a lot.
And well done, Billy Holmes. OK, Eastern Suburbs may have lost the encounter, but they did come up with the try of the match. It belonged to Mark McDonald.
Now Sinclair giving it to Quinn. Back to Sinclair. Can they straighten up the action? Can Purcell find a hole? But McDonald has, and he's in.
He's one of the best finishers in the game, Mark McDonald, been around a long time for the Tigers. OK, let's have a look at the rest of the Brisbane results. Some interesting ones that come up this afternoon. South 22 down winner Manly 12 at Davies Park. At the Ipswich Reserve, Ipswich back in the winner's circle, 38 points to 20 over Brothers. Norths 24, winners over Logan City 6, and Redcliffe getting home by 2 points against Western Suburbs at Pertell Park. Let's have a look at the points table as it stands in Brisbane at the moment. Valleys out on top, the sole competition leaders with 18 points. East, Ipswich and Norths on 16, they make up the 4. Then Souths, Redcliffe and Wests on 10, and the others struggling down the bottom. Well, Sydney, an interesting round in Sydney, and they'll be without their test players from now on. Friday's game, Balmain returned to their best, 28 points to 6 over Cronulla. They were winners. A big return to form there to Paul Sirinen. He had a great game. Saturday, and it was Canterbury 22, downing the Broncos 8. The bad news for the Broncos and Australia is that Gene Miles is out of the Test touring team to go to New Zealand. He has a broken bone in his hand and ruled out of that tour. His place has been taken by Dan Staines. Other results today at the North Sydney Oval. Canberra 14, down Norths 5. Newcastle 18, defeated Easts 8. At the Sydney Football Stadium, Penrith ended South's run. They'd won 12 on the trot, and Penrith won by 19 points to 8. Other results today at the Seagull Stadium. The Gold Coast 29 defeated Manly 6, and Manly's problems and Australia's problems could be turned up here because Dale Shearer has an injury worry, and he has to undergo a fitness test to take his team. Take his place on the touring party. Arana Park, Western Suburbs 8, down Illawarra 6. Cogra Oval, Parramatta 20, down St George 8. Let's have a look at the points table in Sydney as it stands, and it's starting to hot up here. Souths are still on top despite the loss on 24 points. Penrith have 22, Brisbane 20, Canberra 18, Cronulla, Balmain and Parramatta 16, Canterbury 15, and the others in contention there, St George, Newcastle and the Gold Coast and Manly, the rest all struggling down the bottom. Well, that's it for our football coverage today. Hope you can join us for Wide World of Sports Queensland edition on midday from Saturday.